Hey, what's up, YouTube? Sam here. Another day of life, another week of this challenge me and Eddie got going on. And we're about 6 months into this, so time is flying. And it's pretty awesome that we've been pretty consistent on doing this for 6 months. It's a blessing. It's a real blessing. Now, I'd like to talk today about purpose in life and the time and place for everything. And about 2 weeks ago, I went on vacation from work and school. And it was the first time that I've had a vacation from work and school for a long time. It was spring break. And on this vacation, I was making plans to go out, making plans to do homework. I was making a lot of plans to work and study. And when the time came, my parents went on vacation, my sisters went on vacation, so I was babysitting the kids, helping babysit the kids. I wasn't doing the full babysitting. So I found myself at home a lot of the time, taking my sister to school and doing other things, going to church, handling the responsibilities that I normally don't do, but since I was off of work, I was able to do other things. And what I realized is that there's a time and place for everything, and it was time for me to rest, and it was time for me to fulfill other obligations that I had. So as much as I planned for all those other things, I couldn't do them because it wasn't time for them, and it wasn't the place for them. And I realized this when I was at home and I wanted to do my homework, and I was like, my nephew was there, not my king, my nephew King was there, and my nieces were there. And as much as I wanted to go and do something fun, as much as I wanted to do my homework, as much as I wanted to do something else, my obligation was to take care of them at that time because they were in front of me and they wanted somebody to play with. So I took them out, took them to the trampoline, did things out there, and we had fun. But the thing is this, there's a time and place for everything. And when it's time to rest, it's time to rest. When it's time to have a good time, it's time to have a good time. There's a place for everything, and that's the thing. That's why we have beds. That's why we have kitchens. It's time to cook. We cook in the kitchen. You don't cook in your bed. When we go to work, we have a specific workplace. When we go to school, we have a specific place to go to school, a designated area for all of that. And there's a time for it too. And that's the problem in life that we have a lot of the times, that we don't know how to manage our life. Now, when we're at work, we're thinking about everything at home, so we don't work as efficiently as we should be. When we're at home, we're thinking about what's going on at work, the drama, or we're thinking about our grades and all that. And when we're at school, we're texting when we should be studying our homework and doing scholarly things. And when we're at the gym, we're instead of working out, we're talking to our friend or we're texting. And that's the problem. We got to learn to make a place and a time for everything. We got to learn how to schedule, and we need to learn how to manage our time, and we need to learn how to track where we're going so we could go to good places. We might be investing 14 hours a day at work, but at home you're not investing enough time. At the gym you're not investing enough time. We need to learn how to balance our time out and do things diligently, because without balance you're gonna get stuck at work. You're gonna be considered a workaholic. You're gonna be considered a huevon, or what do you call it, huevon, flojo, somebody who just stays at home all day, somebody who's lazy. You spend your whole time at the gym, you're gonna be a gym rat. You spend your time at school all the time, you're not gonna have a fun social life. You're gonna get overwhelmed. You're gonna start to get gray hairs or go bald. So that's the thing. We need to learn how to manage our time and balance it. And we need to manage and balance where we're going as well. And I learned that very well because I wanted to spend more time, but my body said, rest, do what you love, go to church. This is about you. You're on vacation. This vacation's for you. And think and ponder on life. Read your book, because I read my book. I finished it today, actually. But yeah, at work, it's time to work. At home, it's time to be at home. When you're with your nieces and nephews, it's time to be with them. When you're with your girlfriend, it's time to be with her. When you're with your wife, it's time to be with her husband. Same thing. And that's the problem with today. We're always on our phones. We're always We're always distracted with something. And what we need to do is we need to learn how to be at that place at once, so that, because we can only focus on one thing at a time. As humans, we're not meant to do all these things. There's even a story about a spider, and this spider, and it's a kid story. The spider wanted to go to a party, wanted to go all these things at once. And what happened was that it said, I'm going to put one leg at this party. I'm going to put one leg over here with this friend that's doing something cool over here. I'm going to do another thing. Another one of my legs is going to go to this event. And of course, this is spider's legs aren't that long that they can go that far, but this is only a story. So the spider moved all his legs to all these places. And at the end of the day, the spider stayed in the middle of like a forest, not doing anything. All of his legs were everywhere, but he was in the middle of the forest, not being able to enjoy anything fully. And that's the way we are a lot of times. We're not a spider, and we obviously don't have a lot of legs and all that, but in life we spend all our time everywhere, so our mind isn't even at one place at once, and by the time we know it, we didn't get anything done. That's the problem. That's the thing about life. There's not the Bible, I'm sorry, I'm tired, but there's somebody who said, seize the day or seize the moment, carpe diem, or however you pronounce it. It says we only have now. So with right now, what are we doing with our time? And in the Bible, in Ecclesiastes, Solomon writes a lot about how there's a day and time for everything. There's a time for weeping, there's a time for hunting, there's a time for eating, and with all of that, we do that, and we do that alone, so we can get the fullness of it. We can get. Think about it. If you're eating you're drinking your Pepsi and you're eating your burrito, it's good. It's good when you bite it and then you sip the soda. But imagine you put it together and you like blended it together. That'd be disgusting. And that's what we try to do with our lives. We try to blend everything together in one. Imagine getting your phone and throwing it in a blender with your food and your drink and your homework and all that, and you just blend it all together. That would just be disgusting. And of course, this is an analogy. I'm not saying literally that's what's going to happen in life, but it's going to be the same thing. Because, you know, in life you might blend, what is it? Those little gummy worms and gummy bears with some ice cream, and it might be bomb, but that's not the what we're talking about here. It's not going to happen that way. But anyways, there's a time and place for everything. Time to laugh, time to cry, time for everything. Make sure you're getting the fullness of that essence by being at that place at that time. Be there all the way, because all we have really is now. Yesterday's gone and tomorrow isn't promised. So make the most of it. Enjoy your vacations. Don't work too hard. Don't take work too personal. When you go home, take your problems, leave your problems at work. When you go to work, leave your home problems at home. And start every day brand new. Smile. When you smile, you tell your face that you're happy. It's kind of weird. You can't be mad when you're smiling. It's kind of weird. And that's the thing. A lot of times we're right here frowning. Our body language, our mind listens to our body. When you're hunched down, looking sad like this, hunched down, you're not confident. You're doing this and your body knows it. But when you're up like this, you're like, ooh, I got energy now. Ooh, head up. Ooh, I'm good. I feel much better. All this energy just comes into, and you're like, I'm actually not mad. You're like, why was I mad anyways? But it's weird. Tell yourself whenever you're having a bad time, chin up. It's not time to mourn. And when it's time to mourn, you mourn, and you make the most out of that mourning. You make it productive. You mourn long enough so you could do something about it, and you could do something. Don't be mourning like, oh, don't overextend your grievances. Don't like let them live with you. Okay, you were sad. Now find a solution and move on. That's how life should be. Only face the problem long enough to solve it. Now, with that being said, God bless. Love you. Be blessed. Remember, time and place for everything. Think about it and exercise it. God bless. Until next week.